A remarkable update now on a story City News brought you 4 months ago. You may remember this young man, Benjamin Williamson. He's a stark example of how the system fails people with disabilities. The 17-year-old honors student was homeless until he finally found space at an accessible emergency shelter. Wait lists for accessible housing are decades long, and he could only stay at the shelter for 4 months. Well, that 4 months is up, and we will continue his story now.
To me, there is no such thing as basic human rights for people with disabilities. Not without loopholes. Struggle all the way across the board.
That's a strong statement, but Benjamin Williamson has every right to make it. His life has been a never-ending struggle. He was born with cerebral palsy, had to move out of his home because of what he describes as a toxic family life, and couldn't find emergency shelter for 9 months. He's at Bloorview Macmillan now, recovering from surgery, and was facing homelessness again because the shelter was only temporary. But everything has now changed.
It is the best thing that could happen to me right now. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Benjamin, whose lowest mark at school was 97, has been accepted to Carleton University, with a scholarship no less.
It's a new opportunity, a fresh start, a way to put struggles of my previous life behind me.
And he got in because David Onley, Ontario's former Lieutenant Governor, saw his struggle and made a phone call to Carleton University. Benjamin was accepted within 48 hours.
If it wasn't for David Onley, after this surgery, I would be on the street because I don't have another place to live.
Because the shelter ran out.
The shelter ran out.
Benjamin's case seems to illustrate how far we still have to go to help people with disabilities lead normal lives.
It's a perfect storm that he's encountered. It illustrates in one sense that he's an exception to the rule, and in another sense it really does indicate that there aren't enough safety nets, if you will. There still is a long way to go.
Benjamin will leave Bloorview soon and head to Carleton. It is the only university in North America that provides 24-hour attendant care every day of the year, a lifeline for Benjamin. And yet his struggles continue. He faces financial challenges, even with the scholarship in OSAP, and he's not sure if he will be homeless again during the summer breaks.
I can tell you it's exhausting. Because you can't, I feel like I'm trapped underwater and I can't come up for it. And I don't know how else to describe it. Because every time you turn around, there's another roadblock.
But Benjamin isn't going to give up. He wants to be a lawyer and support children and protect their legal rights.
My goal in life is to make sure that no other child has to go through what I've gone through, and no other person with a disability goes through what I've gone through.
And we will continue to follow Benjamin and his remarkable story over the coming months. And by the way, he's planning to run for public office, so we just might see him in politics one day, working on these systemic changes he has been calling for.